Hello, everybody. My name is Anna, and I'm here today to share with you all our team's unbiased opinion over a topic I'm sure many of you have at least thought of once in your life: the school dress code. Now, I know what many of you are probably thinking: oh, wow, that's an easy topic. And yeah, it is. But in reality, we did actually have to spend some time investigating this because surprisingly, the whole controversy that surrounds the dress code isn't something that's new or recent. In fact, these complaints have been around since its creation, which, now thinking about, isn't surprising, as I'm sure many of you have probably experienced some type of issues with the dress code ever since you have enrolled into the school. Maybe you wore the wrong type of pants or shirt, or better yet, brought in a hoodie when you're not supposed to, and it was so outrageous that you had to be stopped and asked why you decided to wear that today. And of course, the whole situation sucks, as well as gets pretty awkward trying to defend yourself because you decided to go with a new outfit for the day. Though, these situations do make one wonder and ask, how come certain clothing items are deemed as so inappropriate that you have to be stopped and asked to be changed out of them, or else you'll be getting sent home? It feels absurd, doesn't it? And of course it's absurd, as I believe that many of you here can agree that having to call your parents to come pick you up because you were out of dress code is a waste of everyone's time, along with embarrassing as gosh, why am I getting bashed for wearing outside of the dress code? And as you are getting reprimanded for wearing outside of the dress code, you are also getting reprimanded for trying to express yourself through a new fashion sense. Because I'm sure many of you have probably had that one amazing outfit you wanted to wear so bad, but couldn't because the dress code would have you out of those doors in no time. And that there is a restriction of your self image, as the dress code not only insults your new style, but it also blocks many of you from expressing yourself freely through your own unique fashions. Which our group, after coming to that realization, began to wonder, how did the dress code come to be? And more importantly, how much has it truly impacted our senses of fashion as students? But before that, we must understand how and why fashion is so important to this research. And why not begin by starting at the very beginning of today's fashion era? Fashion. What is fashion? Fashion is a form of self expression many of us use through clothing, accessories, and overall appearances. It is a powerful means through which individuals assert their identity and uniqueness, as it has come a long way since its creation thousands of years ago. But the era that we will be talking about is the era where fashion exploded with new revolutionary change. From its beginning in the 20th century to now in the 21st century, as with the explosion of globalization, new technology, new designers, and later on social media, it created a path for fashion to evolve rapidly and become the distinguishing factor of a person's self image. Our article, Glam Observer, gave us a timeline of the past fashion trends from the last century, as it captivated us because it provided us an insight of how fashion has evolved from a closed off to a now more openly expressive mindset, as now people are more open about how they want to express themselves through their choices in clothing and accessories. This timeline has taught us one thing: fashion has always been a factor that determines a person's self image, as not only does it represent them as a person, but it represents the time period they're in and their place in it. Fashion changes with time. And what better way to show this than to show our growth from when we were children to now as teenagers? Even with changing one's fashion sense, it's undeniably that each one of us has our own unique sense of identity that helps us influence our choice in fashion. Ultimately, fashion reflects on who we are and where we are in our lives. That being said, it is questionable how schools have excessively enforced the dress code regulations on their students. Originally established in 1969 to prevent students from expressing their opinion about the Vietnam War, dress codes have since continued to limit self expression, with schools often deeming certain forms of dress as inappropriate or a distraction. This has fueled an ongoing controversy with the education system, as many argue that some regulations are outdated and no longer aligned with modern societal values. But in response to this criticism, schools defend their dress codes by emphasizing their benefits. One of the main arguments is that dress codes contribute to a safer and learning environment. For example, highlights how uniform can help prevent from blending in and reduce conflicts among students. Supporters believe that a standardized dress code fosters a positive educational atmosphere and discourages violence. Additionally, schools argue that dress codes minimize distraction, reduce bullying based on clothing choices, and offer a convenience for both parents and students by simplifying outfit selections. Uniforms, they claim, create a sense of unity that helps students feel comfortable in an environment where everyone else is dressed similar. However, critics question whether this enforced uniformity stifles individuality. Self expression is the simplest way to describe fashion. As we explore the fashion world, we realize how closely it is linked to a person's self image, as expressed by an expert we talked to, who explained to us how fashion makes a person's image.
Hello.
So, can you tell us your name and what you do here at Harmony?
I'm Miss Colvin. I am the fine arts educator here at Harmony Art One, and I also teach AP Art History.
So, as we can tell, you love your fashion, you dress very nicely.
Thank you.
So, first question is, how do you think clothing helps you express yourself?
I think anything that you can display externally is always going to be easier than what maybe to expressing yourself like outwardly from the inside. So that's why I find a lot of fun like putting on my favorite colors, mixing patterns. It's why I have so much jewelry on that I wear all the time. I style my hair a certain way. Expressing yourself outwardly I think is one of the easiest way to express yourself when maybe you're not brave enough to do it just like by speaking.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Ms. Colvin's views represent the main points expressed by fashion experts in the art of self expression, how fashion can speak volumes about you. Our group learned about the scientific connection between fashion, highlighting how clothing serves as a means of self expression. Fashion allows individuals to showcase their uniqueness and creativity as they craft their personal images through their clothing choices and the confidence they have in their style. So, how can a person express themselves with a dress code so closed off? Well, we asked a few students how it has impacted them and their sense of identities, starting off with our classmate.
My name is Taylor Holmes, and I'm in 11th grade.
So, what I wanted to ask you was, what do you think your sense of style is?
I don't really have a sense of style. I feel like it's mostly my own style. But if I have to go ahead and put in short term, I feel like it's very down to earth. You know, I've always been that down to earth type of person. But yeah, I don't really have a sense of style. It's just my own style.
Okay. How do you think school has limited your sense of style?
A lot.
Or do you think it limits your style?
It has limited a lot. Like the jeans that I go ahead and wear, they're mostly like sometimes they're baggy, sometimes they're flared. You mostly see me in flare pants, but they really don't allow me, like myself, and I feel like other students to like go ahead and express that way because they have so many restrictions on things. It just very much have like a little amount of
Freedom.
yeah.
Yeah. So, what's your least favorite part about the dress code?
I don't really know because there's so much. There's literally so much like restrictions on what we can't wear and stuff like that.
I agree. I also wanted to know, like, do you have any part of the dress code that you're okay with or that you see as justifiable? No, nothing.
No, because even to the hair part, like going ahead and want to dye your hair a new color or anything, like them not going ahead and letting you even express that. It's just like it doesn't make any sense to me.
So do you think it limits your self-expression? Could you elaborate?
I don't really know how to put it into words, but I don't know how to put it into words.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can you tell everybody your name and what grade you're in?
Hi, my name is Benjamin. I'm in 11th grade.
Okay. What would you say? What would you describe your style as?
It's very 2000s, very emo. It really depends on how I feel on certain days and occasions.
Do you think the dress code restricts like what you're able to wear in school?
Yes, it's very restrictive about like my shirts and stuff. I'm not really concerned about my pants, as you can see. It's just the school shirts in general.
So like you wish we had like different shirts or like more variety?
Yeah, like I wish we could wear like more of our spirit shirts. Like I really miss the college days where we can wear like our college shirts and stuff.
Okay. What's something you wish you could change about the dress code?
I think I would change probably if we were able to like wear hoodies again, because I really missed wearing a hoodie because I hate wearing sweaters every fucking day. Leave that out.
Okay. What's my last question? Well, thank you then, I guess.
You're
You got the
welcome.
last question. I don't remember it.
We believe the dress code should evolve alongside the ever changing fashion industry. Not only does fashion help students discover themselves and shape their identities, but many outdated dress code policies no longer align with modern society. Rules created decades ago, such as restriction on certain hairstyles, the rigid enforcement often limits self expression, making students feel as though their true selves don't belong in a society that increasingly embraces individuality. In conclusion, fashion has evolved drastically over the years, influenced by new trends, innovations, and cultural shifts. As society grows, so should school dress codes. While they may not be the most pressing issue, they do play a role in shaping a student's self image. Outdated policies that restrict self expression can diminish confidence and prevent students from exploring their identities. Schools exist to prepare students for the future. Yet, by clinging to dress codes rooted in the past, they risk stifling the very growth they aim to encourage. A modernized dress code would not only reduce criticism but also create a more accepting environment where students feel free to express themselves in.